Okay, so what we are looking at here is the three-dimensional skin model, and this skin model is actually divided into three parts. This part here, this part here, this part here. So this part represents kind of the majority of your skin on your body. For example, like your forearm, your face, the skin of on your thighs. So it's thin skin that it has hair on it. This region right here, that's also a hairy skin, but this skin is only found in special areas such as like the armpit area that has these special structures, these special sweat glands known as apocrine sweat glands. And then on the very right here, this is, as you can see, there's no hair on this part of the model. This is hairless skin that is thick. So this is thick skin that would only be found in the palms of your hand, your fingertips, as well as the soles of your feet. Okay, so as I said, these guys right here, that's hair, and this portion of hair that you can actually see on somebody or on this model right here coming out, that's known as the hair shaft. And then this part of the hair right here that's deep, that's the hair root. And hair grows out of these structures known as hair follicles. So this right here in purple, this right here, or this right here where you're kind of looking at the external view of it, all of these represent the hair follicles where the hair is growing out of. Okay, so let's first look, so your skin is divided into two layers, an epidermal layer, which you can see in this area, you can see from here to here, and in this area you can see from here to here. So that's the epidermis. Okay, and that this whole layer is made up of tissue known as stratified squamous epithelial tissue that's keratinized. And then the deeper layer of skin, all of this right here, all of this is known as the dermis. Okay, so let's look at the epidermis first. So if you look at this region of thick skin where the epidermis is much thicker, this most outer layer right here of the epidermis, that is called the stratum corneum in pink. That's the stratum corneum. And here, this is the stratum corneum. So the stratum corneum is much thinner in thin skin than it is in thick skin. Underneath the stratum corneum in thick skin is this layer right here in white, what you're seeing in white, that's the stratum lucidum. This is absent from thin skin, this layer. Next, we've got the stratum granulosum. So if you keep going deeper, this layer right here in blackish right here or here is the stratum granulosum. So in thin skin, you have stratum corneum, and then the next layer down is the stratum granulosum. In thick skin, you have stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, and stratum granulosum. Then the next layer in deep down, this layer kind of in light purple, that's the stratum spinosum. And then the deepest, so here or here, and then the deepest layer, which is made up of, it's really just one layer thick, what you're seeing here in gray, here or here, that is known as the stratum basale. All right, underneath the epidermis, you've got the dermis. So all of this here is the dermis, and that's actually divided into two layers. The upper layer, so pretty much everything above the red here, up to the epidermis, all of this here and all of this here, all of this here is known as the papillary layer, and that contains loose areolar connective tissue proper. And everything below here, so everything, if you look at these blood vessels here, everything below the blood vessels, so everything here, that is the reticular layer, and that is made up of dense irregular connective tissue proper. And then below the skin, below the dermis, and this layer is really not technically part of skin, all of this, what you're seeing in yellow, that is known as the hypodermis, below the dermis, hypodermis, and this is mostly adipose tissue. Okay, so all these yellow structures, that's supposed to represent adipocytes. Okay, so let's look at some other structures you have to know in this skin. So associated with your hair follicles, associated with these guys, you will see these structures right here. These are known as sebaceous glands. These are sebaceous glands, and they're exocrine glands that produce sebum, which is oil. So these are oil glands, but I want you to name them, call them sebaceous glands, okay? Also associated with the hair follicles are these structures right here or right here, and that's actually smooth muscle, and its name is erector pili muscle, right here and here. And when this muscle contracts, it actually makes the hair on your skin stand up straight. These white structures here, this white structure that you're kind of looking at from the outside, or here you're looking at a cross section of it. Here or here or here. All of these are sweat glands, and these are actual true sweat glands that are found all over skin, everywhere. Also known, and the formal name for them are eccrine sweat glands. So eccrine sweat glands are these guys, and then this big guy right here that actually is typically associated with hair follicles as well, although that's not really shown here on this model. But this guy is a type of special sweat gland known as apocrine sweat gland that's only found in certain areas of the skin that is involved in sexual signaling. There's a couple of other structures you have to know. So there's some nervous system structures down here. This structure right here that kind of looks like an onion, a cut onion. This is known as a Pacinian corpuscle, corpuscle. And then these structures here, okay, found in the papillary layer, and they're mostly found in thick, hairless, sensitive skin. These guys right here and here, those represent Meissner's corpuscles. Okay, and then we've got some blood vessels right here. So the blue guys are veins, the red guys are arteries, and there are some plexuses here that you don't have to know on the skin model, but these are known as the subpapillary plexuses. That's a network of blood vessels. And I believe that's all the structures you have to know on the skin model.